Hello YouTube. This is a kind of different video on my channel, but since so many of you have asked about an update or another video of my 58 Plymouth, here we are. This is kind of like an just on the fly without any editing update. I've posted two small clips a couple of weeks ago to show you that the car is, well, back home. At least most of it is back home. You see there are still some parts missing, which are, of course, with the car, but currently not on the car. Those who are familiar with these cars probably noticed that this is not the same car that you've seen on my channel for some years, and of course some years ago, because I had to sell the original. I used to call her Franken Christine, because she was kind of like a mixed up batch of parts, using a 59 Belvedere as a well, for the main part, with a 58 front clip. And many of you have noticed that there were some things off, like the windshield and other stuff. But I had to sell this car back in, I think it was 2014. It's been a while, because back then I bought this car. This is a genuine 58 Plymouth Belvedere 2-door hardtop, the real deal. And of course, you see, she's been worked on. She's been Christinized a couple of years ago, and I got in touch with the previous owner, or with the previous owners who owned this car before it came to Germany. And I kind of like, well, I'm still in the progress of figuring out her story. The thing that I know is that I bought her from a guy here in Germany who bought two of these. One to be restored and the other to drive around as long as the other car is not finished. Well, in the end, things went out of control, some things went wrong, and he started robbing parts of this car. This is why there is no Sporton inserts, and there is not even an interior, because he ended up taking the interior out and use it for another car. So, well, that's why there is so much stuff missing, but I think I have everything to put it back together. And of course, this car was in need of some bodywork, and I'll give you a brief tour. You see, this part has been replaced because we had some rust issues from the inside. And well, the rail for the weather stripping, this was like Swiss cheese. This has been replaced as well. The whole trunk floor was kind of like a mix of fiberglass and something else, I don't know. So we replaced this as well. The rear quarters, well, they were starting to bubble, and they had some issues as well. So some more body work. And only a small patch here on the inside. Otherwise, and I know this is not common to hear or to see, this car was pretty rust-free. So it still has most of its original floors. And, well, there's not much wrong with it body-wise. This is due to the fact that this was a one-owner car until the late 1970s, I think, or even, well, it was driven until the 1970s. Then it was parked until somewhere around in the late 1990s. And that's why it's quite in good shape. So when I got the car, it was not running due to the oil cooler lines were missing as well and some other stuff. And but I was told the engine was fine. So all right, that's what we know so far. And when I got her home from the body shop, after years and years of waiting, I finally got her running. It took some years to get her back because, you know, we had some kind of a global pandemic going on during the last years. And I could not put enough money aside to pay the body shop. So I had to do it little by little, and she was sitting there for kind of like 4 to 5 years or so. And that's why there was nothing to see on my channel of this car. So you could, hopefully you understand why there are a lack of videos, because she was sitting in a body shop kind of like a few hundred kilometers away from here. And this summer I finally got all the funds together to bring her back home, to pay the guy who did really a great job on this car. Well, the bodywork is not all he did. There is something else. Let's see if I can show you around. There is a brand new custom-made stainless steel exhaust system on this car because, well, when I got her, she kind of had still the original single exhaust, which was held together by some pieces of chicken wire and a clove hanger or something like that. So that did cost some money as well. As I told you, she's running, she's driving, and that's mostly due to the fact that the drivetrain, I've been told the drivetrain has been rebuilt before the car came to Germany. The previous owner had it for a couple of years, and he bought it freshly restored. You know, restored means the car was, technically overhauled and got a red and white Mako paint job and back then quite nice interior. So that's how she was Christinized. Originally, she's a black car with a white top. I had the VIN number decoded, and she had a black body with a iceberg white top. Okay, so as I told you, this is just a video on the fly, and I'm probably missing a lot of stuff. Oh, of course, and right now, since the gas tank is still, questionable because I still have to take it out and clean it and see if it's, has any rust issues. So right now she's running, she's been, bottle feeded. So, I think let's try to start her up and hear her running for the first time in years on my channel. Come on. I've got some issues with the lights in here. So now let's try it this way. Okay. So not a pretty video. I know. It's kind of like a vlog. Let's start her up. Well, as I told you, she's already been sitting for maybe a month or two since the last video when you saw her, well, driven in here. Well, I just noticed something. Looks like she started to pull fuel, but there is an issue because I have not, well, there's no vent, of course, on this bottle, and it looks like the hose, the fuel hose is kind of like tied in there. So that's probably the reason why she did not want to run, because she fired off and then died instantly. So I will just loose this cap a little bit, and we'll see if, well, she'd been drinking half of the bottle already, and she's not running. So the fuel must be somewhere in there. So at least it looks like the fuel pump came back around. Okay, I just, well, did loosen the cap on the temporary gas tank, and we'll give her another final try. Here we are. I'm not sure if all 8 cylinders are participating in this event, but man, she is thirsty. Kind of like, let's hear the exhaust. So for the most part, she still needs some paint. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing a whole repaint, a complete repaint, because you won't see this on camera, but this paint job, it's not good. And I'm not even sure if I will be able to, well, to match the panels I have to repaint. And maybe I will try to clean her up and show you the result in one of the next videos. And then we'll decide which way to go, because right now I don't have the money for a paint job. This kind of work, well, this has gotten expensive during the last years. Of course, those little bits and pieces are still around somewhere, and she needs paint, she needs the interior, she needs the power steering setup, and of course, well, almost nothing apart from the lights. There is nothing working when it comes to the wiring. So there I have some electrical work to do, of course. And well, the gas tank. And then we hopefully will be able to see her running and driving again. Somewhere around next year, we will see. So, all right, that's it for the moment. Our first little update on this car for quite some years. And maybe I will do another of these update videos at some point and tell you a little bit more about the story of this car. Because finally, I've been able to track down one of the previous owners who owned this car for a couple of years. And, well, I had a phone conversation with this guy, and he really told me a lot of of her history. So now we kind of are able to track her down to to the first owner. And, but still, I don't have any photos of her. Well, maybe when she was still black and white or something, or doing the restoration process. We'll see about that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video, this shaky, crude video. And now I'm running out of battery, so I'm gonna cut it short. So see you next time. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.